Good morning. Thursday. No, it's not Thursday. It's Tuesday. Oh my gosh, time's flying. Tuesday, March the 24th. Today I want to talk about the bigger picture. It's really weird because as I sit here doing this video, it just reminds me, it's really weird that over the last few years that Hollywood and all these other kind of movie theaters have spent so much time churning out this dystopian films, these end of time films, what happens, from Contagion to the zombie films to all this kind of stuff. And it's really weird because I think in all those films we've more or less got the blueprint as to what will actually happen if things did go a bit awry and a bit left. But here we are in the middle of our own kind of worldwide crisis with deniers on one side and incompetent leaders not acting quickly enough on the other. And what I've really been thinking about is what the bigger picture is. So we are on a reset. There are people who may be in denial, who may not necessarily accept that this is what's actually happening to us, but we're on a reset. I got up this morning and I looked at my beard and my mustache, and I looked like Nunes, Google Nunes, Nunes, the coach for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's my beard going to look like, a moustache, by the end of 3 months? Because I'm not going to my barber's, my hair's going to grow. And I was like, I actually don't care. This is actually a time not to be so fussed about, oh my God, how do I look? The bigger picture is can we all keep well? And I was really pleased yesterday that our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, whether you like him or not, was able to finally put his foot down and just really restrict the kind of movement that we have. And the bigger picture for me here is that even though there's a lot of information that went out, there are lots of individuals that still kept on, I don't know, not seeing the seriousness of what this social isolation looks like. And don't get me wrong, I think there are people who had to get onto the train who weren't key workers because their bosses threatened them and they didn't believe that they were going to be productive enough at home. I'm still quite shocked. I'm like, really? You think people can't be productive enough at home? Obviously, there are individuals that in jobs that we may not even realize how essential they are as a key worker. For example, if somebody's doing payroll, the truth is that they can't really afford to do that remotely. And they may have to be in the office and they may have to be able to manage people's data quite secretively rather than having your kids standing over your shoulder recognizing who's getting paid a certain amount of money in an office. There are others, such as outside of the health workers, who are working in the stores. So, be it Waitrose, Lidl, Aldi, all the kind of like the food stores, those individuals still need to be able to go. But the individuals who are crowding in parks, who are rushing to the beaches, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to judge them because I think it's a bit unfair to judge them because when people are afraid, you never know what kind of decision they're going to make. But a decision had to be made that we are basically closing this down, not because you, as a person who has got a strong immune system and can be quite healthy, not because you can survive, but because that if other people, and if you are a vector, and you may be asymptomatic, you may be okay, but there may be other people in your wider network, in your family, or people who you are near to, who have got people who are older, or who have got compromised immune systems. They'll need to stay safe. And on a personal note, my dad was in hospital and with a lung infection, and the hospital he was in just didn't have enough space for others. Fortunately for him, he was there. Well, he is there. He's still being treated for his infection. But there are loads of other beds that people just can't get access to in and around London. And it's important to understand that we're not even at the peak. And 100 might seem like, okay, that's fine. But the truth is, and the wake-up call is that with 66 odd million people in this country, we just do not have the capacity to deal with lots of people being ill. And if a priority has to be made, then some people may need to go. It's horrible reading stories of families who just didn't even get to say goodbye to their family. I can't go and see my mum. Love my mum, jump on WhatsApp, you have a little bit of banter, what have you, but I know that I have to stay away. And the bigger picture here is that in work, whoever we're working for, is that we're not being told to stay away because people don't want us to earn money. And it's scary, of course. There's a lot of us who aren't going to have money, and we're going to have to really tighten our belt around our food, around our travel, all this kind of stuff. And there are some people who just don't know where that money's going to come from. And that's incredibly important to understand. But the bigger picture is it's not about us as individuals, it's about us as a whole. How can we collectively pull through this? In Britain, we talk about this war spirit. We talk about, and we're not in a war, by the way. And thank you, John Amici, for sending out your video to remind us of that. We're not in a war. But there's a certain spirit about being able to pull stuff together, to be more collaborative, to think not just about ourselves, but the wider community as a whole. And today I read this really good quote. It was quite a powerful quote, actually. It was by somebody called Donna Markova. It says, "In times of crisis, people reach for meaning. Meaning is strength, and our survival may depend on our seeking and our finding it." And another one that I thought that was really good was by a guy called Paul T. P. Wong. And it says, "A person's true character is often revealed in times of crisis or temptation. Make sure that you have what it takes to be your best in such times." And those two quotes kind of really sum up for me today why we should be looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is not just about us as individuals, but us as a whole. I wish you peace. I wish you blessings. I hope you have a good day. Enjoy the sunshine if you have sunshine wherever you are. If it's raining, still the sun shining somewhere. Enjoy it if you can. And again, look after each other. And hopefully I'll be able to send another one of these out tomorrow. Be well. Take care.